this possible? That a man who has realized the highest and has awakened to the higher state of consciousness, even though it is Sadananda, infinite, all the time, infinite bliss he is experiencing, yet when you say that afterwards, he will not be attracted to the sense objects and their pleasures and their charm, this a student cannot even conceive, because the student is always trying to conceive with his own mind and intellect. He can't conceive an idea beyond the mind. So he always doubts, is it possible that he is no more tempted by the pleasures that are available in the world outside? After all, it is a natural instinct. Sex, pleasures of the world outside for the sense organs, is natural. Will that natural inclination for the sense organs to run toward the sense objects will all be ended just because you realize the highest? It is a thing that the student will not understand. To make the student understand, here Shankara gives a specific antidote for that doubt, that it will never more rise in your mind, let alone ever disturb you.
Atyanta kamukasyapi vrittih kunthati matari tathaiva brahmani jnate purnanande manishinaha.
A young, healthy, 60 inches chest, a young man was sitting in the room playing with his fiancée, not married yet, playing and he is excited, she is equally excited, they were rubbing flesh to flesh, you know that sweat after sweating. So two bundles, filthy bundles rubbing each other. They are on the point, atyanta kamuki, extremely lusty. At that time, if the man's mother were to enter the room, not that she is suspicious and came in, no. She is doing her work in the kitchen and the chabi was inside the room, so she came there to take the chabi. Instead of calling him and say, bring the chabi, she herself came and took it. Just passed. Not that she looked at him, not that she mentioned anything. She really did not see it. Atyanta kamukasyapi. Even such a lusty man, excited to the highest point, even in him, vritti kunthati madari. The moment he sees the mother, that vritti that was there, cool down immediately. Whether you respect your mother or not, it doesn't matter. The very fact that the mother passed, both of them cool down immediately, isn't it? Not that the mother said anything. Mother has not lifted even a little finger to stop it. No! Mother just came and went. In fact, the whole mother need not be. The mother's shadow will do. In the same way, tathaiva, exactly in the same way, brahmani jnate. When the individual had the vision of the higher state of consciousness, Purnanande, in that experiencing Purnananda, Manishinaha, man, people who are experiencing the higher, in the presence of the higher, like in the presence of the mother. Atyanta kamukapi, even though it is a natural thing for the sense organs, the mind and intellect to jump into the sense world, once you are there, all desires ended because of asanas ended. No desire and therefore no agitation. Therefore no desire-prompted activities, no jumping of the BMI into the world of OET in search of some happiness. Why? Atyanta, extreme bliss that he is experiencing. Therefore there will not be, if in case you doubt, is it possible? Here you are, given you an example. That is why in America they always leave mother and father, because there's interference. Mother is always knocking about all over the place. So I am going private and my own flat, and then their life becomes flat. No rising. Now a theme has been taken, prarabdha for a saint, a man of realization. Why the heck should he come back and disturb us unnecessarily? If that Swami was not here, none of you would have ever thought of coming to Himachal Pradesh. You would have passed Himachal Pradesh and gone to Kashmir and get shot rather than come to Himachal Pradesh. Why should you? Siddha Bali kahan hai? It is not even in the map. You understand? Why did you Zakap and came here? Because of that stupid Swami. Why should they? They should realize, collapse and die in that very seat of meditation. Then when we detect it, we shall make it into an altar and prostrate and like Muslims, the saints die and they make a Kaaba, and then a flower covered, and then they, Hindus and Muslims go there because the belief is that that dead body will bless and fulfill all your desires. While he was living, he himself was begging. After his death, on his lifeless bones, every those who have no children will come, and those who have no, desires, various desires will be fulfilled. Kaaba. That would have been nice. You meditate, realize, collapse. It's good for the Swami also, because to live afterwards in the dirty world is also difficult. So nothing happened, everybody is happy. See? But he is working, and the Upanishad says, it is because prarabdha vashad. So that idea, it looks a little contradictory. It is a weak link in the chain of arguments of Vedanta. To a superficial, quick and unintelligent study of Vedanta will give you an idea that in Vedanta everything is all right, Swami. But this idea is stupid. It will come. Therefore, the teacher now explains,
Nididhyasanashilasya bahya pratyaya ikshate praviti shrutiretasya prarabdham phaladarshanat.
Nididhyasana shilasya. One who has the shila, the habit of nididhyasana, meditation. One who is a deep student of contemplation and meditation. Such an individual, bahya pratyaya ikshati. When I watch him very carefully, he has got extrovert thoughts. Meditation. Highly developed student, meditation. But he cannot but 3 times prostrate to Govinda. In the dining hall, he is ready. However deep the meditation, you wake up. Exact time there, or else Shanti Amma will smile and ask you to go. Precise. Why? He is running after food. He drinks. He is taking a bath. He is sleeping. All these are extrovert activities. How? If he has realized the truth, there are no more vasanas in him, then why should he move about with that desire to eat, a desire to drink, various desires? Bahya pratyaya ikshate. We see him actively functioning in the outer world, actively involved in the outer world. Braviti Shruti. On this, if when questioned, the Upanishad explains. Braviti, she says, the scripture, Mother Shruti explains, etasya prarabdham. It is the prarabdha of this. Bhaladarshanad. Why? We are seeing it, that he is suffering sometimes or enjoying sometimes. Ill health comes to him. A man of realization also can get sick. Suddenly, with no explanation that you can give. Fever, high fever, high fever. Why high fever? I don't know. But you can't have sorrow without a cause. What is the cause for that man's suffering? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had cancer of the throat. Ramana had cancer of the upper arm. Vivekananda had stomach trouble. Buddha died with the stomach trouble. Why should such great and noble souls who have not done anything and who has really done so much for the world, instead of rewarding him, how is it that he is also suffering? See, we all can say that. I am suffering maybe because of my papa. Why should such an individual? Why should Jesus die so painful death? The most painful death. Why Mahatma Gandhi has been shot? Reverend King was shot in America. Why? There is so many people ask the question. Such an honest, such a good man in the whole village or in the whole town. He has been shot by a mad, bearded Sardarji. Why? Think. These 100 questions of why. The Upanishad says, prarabdham. It is because of prarabdha. How can prarabdha become? It continues, questions after questions.
Sukhadyanubhavo yavat.
Sukhadyanubhavo yavat.
Tavat prarabdhamishyate. Phalodayah kriya purvah. Nishkriyo nahi kutrachit.
Now when you say that a man of realization has no prarabdha, that is also right. When when he is in that state of consciousness, there is no prarabdha. But in case he is identified with the body, even an iota, therefore he identifies with it. This will happen to everybody. The second great declaration of Jesus on the cross is always a miracle or a mystery to even the greatest Christian padris. You go and ask him, how is it possible? First he says, Lord, forgive them, they know not what they do. Extreme and total forgiveness to all the people. Because they are like children. They know nothing. They don't know anything. They think that I am the body, and therefore they are hammering me. But I am not the body. I am his son. I am something beyond it. It's all with that great wisdom. He forgives everyone. The same Jesus, on the second day, he looks up to the sky and cries out, Lord, what have I done that I should suffer thus? Forgiveness gone. But he is not saying that now punish this whole lot. He did not say that. But he had a doubt in himself. What have I done in my life that I should suffer thus? A questioning, the very justice of the Lord. How did it happen? So the first statement was when he was in the highest, one with the supreme consciousness, and he forgave them all. But his attention turns to his body. Second day in the heat of the Middle East, dry throat, there's no water. Drip by drip the blood is going out, tired and exhausted. At that time, sweating from top to bottom, he has to cry out, Oh Lord, what have I done that I should? He forgot that he is the Son of God. He has been sent here for the purpose. Everything forgot, every higher knowledge forgotten. Identified with the body, mind and intellect, he becomes a normal, deluded human being. That statement is not mentioned by others to criticize or demean Jesus. On the other hand, that statement, if it were not there, Jesus would have been such a great ideal that others dare not sympathize with him, love him, or follow him. Sri Ramchandraji must cry to every leaf and tendril on the roadside, asking like any stupid man, have you seen my Sita? He has to. Think. It is natural. In all, therefore here, Shankara says, Sukha, Sukhadya Anubhavo Yavad. Yavad, as long as Sukhadi Anubhava, joy and sorrow are experienced by the individual. Tavat prarabdhamishyate. So long we must accept that it is his prarabdha. Why? In order to experience the joys and sorrows, here must be the consciousness identified with the mind and its conditions, and that consciousness conditioned by the mind is called the ego must suffer the consequence of the past. Prarabdhamishyate. Bhalodaya kriya purvo, because its principle is the same. Bhala, the result of an action, the result can only arise from the previous karma. Bhalodaya kriya purva. Without purva kriya, no bhala can come. So if there is joy and sorrow in the mind, or health and ill health at the body level, or poverty and riches in the outer world, all these are results. And the result, the fruit, cannot be without previous action. So, with the actions of the past, the vasanas are created, the expressions of the vasanas are the experience of the body, the experience of the individual, the various destinies. Kriya, nishkriyo nahi kutrachit. Never is the nishkriya. One who has not any action, he cannot have any result. So when you are in that nishkriya, actionless center of the reality, of course there is no result. But in case you are seeing and experiencing your joys and sorrows, why? Prarabdha. How can the prarabdha be? Without previous actions, no prarabdha can come. So the actions done in the past with ego and egocentric desires is the cause for the present joys and sorrows. These are the results. These results that are presenting themselves to us as a result of the past is called a prarabdha. This prarabdha is only for those who are identified with the joys and sorrows. But when you have lifted yourself to the higher state of consciousness, which is nishkriya, nishkala, that state, the sorrows never touch. This has been demonstrated by Vivek, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He had the cancer of the throat. One moment he will be rolling in the carpet with excruciating pain. And while he is rolling, in between he becomes still. Why? He is in samadhi. So when he is clutched off from the body, mind and intellect, he is in the pure state. There, sorrows, the results of previous actions cannot reach. But he cannot remain there because of prarabdha. He comes down. When he comes down, he becomes sukha dukkhadi, bhoktu. He becomes the experiencer of the joys and sorrows of the world. So those who are, so long as you are feeling the pain and the sorrows of the world outside, all the joys of the world outside, prarabdha vishyate. You are under the whip of prarabdha. And prarabdha may be whipping you or patting you. It all depends upon what you have done in the past. But when you are in the nishkriya state, where you are beyond all activities, all egocentric actions are no more with you, at those states in the higher state of consciousness, your prarabdha, whatever it might have been, it never shall touch you. Aham brahmeti.
Aham brahmeti vijnanat kalpakoti shatarjitam sanchitam vilayam yati prabodhat swapna karmavat.
But Swamiji, millions of lives I and you must have lived in this world. in various incarnations, in different sets of circumstances, with different bodies, but the same mind and intellect. All these time, whenever I acted with ego and egocentric desires, vasanas have been accumulated. And now with each one of us, there must be mountains, Everest, larger or higher than Everest, mountain of vasanas. And each vasana is to yield its joy and sorrow. Through bhog only it can be ended. Through your suffering only, experience only, you can end it. How can I? And while I am ending, every moment again I am creating. Now what am I doing? Think. How can we end it? Now Shankara says, Aham Brahmedi Vijanad. When the moment you realize, I am the Brahman, I am that higher state, that is the subject, that's me. Till now I was thinking that I am my light reflected in them and I limited entity, a victim of my own mind and intellect. Whenever the mind is peaceful, I am peaceful. Mind is agitated, I am agitated. When the mind is unhappy, I am unhappy. When the mind is happy, I am happy. I am nothing other than what my mind and intellect is. Conditioned by mind and intellect was me, the ego. When the mind and intellect is transcended, the ego, I, who thought myself to be the ego, I rediscover that I am the Atman. The moment you realize, Aham Brahmedi Vijanad, when this is not jnanam. Now at this moment you have got a book knowledge. You can go about and saying that I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am God, realized. Have you got a kerchief? Why? You don't know, last month my wife died. Realized what? That I am a colossal stupid fool. That is all that you have realized. Aham Brahmeti Vijanad. Even you are Vijanad, Visheshena Jnanam, fully awakened and directly experienced beyond every trace of doubt. Vijanad, Kalpa Koti Shata Arjidam. The vasanas that you have collected, Kalpa Koti, Kalpa, the day of creation of the world and the deluge is one Kalpa. Though you all deserve to be drowned in water, you need not worry about it now, because it will take a few more millions of years, and you are not going to stay all the million. You may remain 1 million, all right, but there are many millions of... And that is the length of time. It's called one kalpa. Kalpa kodi. 100 crore, yes. 100 lakhs of such kalpas. Then a shatam, another 100, into 100. So kalpa time, 40 million years. Like that, kodi, crore, and that total into 100. Add 2 more zeros if there is space there. It's such a long, impossible period of time. Whatever you are arjidam, earned, saved, kept in you, the vasanas. So the moment you are woken up to the reality, to the higher, Vijnanat kalpa koti shatai api arjidam, earned by this time, sanjitam, or earned and saved. See? The total bank balance, sanjitam, accumulated, this entire vasana, vilayam ladi. The whole thing the government has recognized and took it away. Overnight. There is not any more worry of how to invest such an amount and where can I invest it. No more worry and anxiety. Why? Government recognized it, CBI came, took it away. And what about to me? A comfortable 9x9 room with one bucket for all purposes. Sanchitam, all that is earned. All these time, vilayam ladi. 1 minute it ends. The moment you wake up to the higher. Swamiji, just to encourage me, you are telling that, don't feel despaired. You might have done a lot of crime. Don't worry. The moment you realize everything will go away. Is it not an exaggeration? Is it not a cock and bull story to console me for the time being? No, it is not so. Why? Prabodhad swapna karma vata. In the swapna dream, whatever that you have done, no doubt the consequence will be there after you the dreamer, so long as the dream exists. You killed, you will be punished. You touched fire, you will be burned. Where? In the dream. In the dream, to the dreamer, the consequence of the dream actions will implicitly follow. But the moment you wake up, even though you were in the prison, waiting for tomorrow early morning when you are to be hung. So in agony you ask, it's only another 4 more hours for my life, another 3 more. 2 more hours afterwards I have to die. Oh Lord, I don't want to die, I don't die. It is at that time, a scorpion bit you. Woke up. What happened was, you were talking in the sleep and she pinched you. It's not a scorpion, it is this, the scorpion whom you married for the last 20 years. You understand? You woke up. The moment you wake up, all that crime that you have done has become futile, dull, null and void. In the same way, the moment you wake up from the egocentric state of consciousness to realize that I am that self, all that you have arjidam, collected and earned and saved and accumulated in you for endless time, all of them become null and void.
Yatkritam swapna velayam
Yatkritam swapna velayam
punyam va papamulbanam suptothitasya kintasyat swargaya narakaya va.
And the student doesn't, can it all end? Still the doubt is, because you are trying to understand it with the intellect. You can never. The teachers are talking from a different balcony, a higher balcony than, and you can't understand. Yat kritam swapna velayam, swapna vela type. During the dream, yat kritam, whatever that you have done, punyam va papa mulkadam. maybe you have done punya, yajnas and yagas are done in the dream, or papa, sins that you have committed, the most abominable sins you have perpetrated, even then, suptorthitasya kim tasyad. Supta uthita, one who has awakened from that sleep condition of non-apprehension of your true nature. One who has woken up. Kim syad, what can those actions do to him? Swargaya narakaya va? Because of the punya that you have done in the dream, can you now in the waking state have happiness? For the crimes that you have done in the dream, will there be any regret or sorrow or agitations or worries and anxieties about it here? Neither Swarga or Naraka, neither heaven or hell is the reward for an individual who has woken up from the dream as a consequence of what he has done in the dream. What he has done in the dream, those karmas are immunized, completely made ineffective the moment the dreamer I has become the waker I. The dreamer I did the crime. The dreamer I deserves to be punished. But the moment the dreamer I realizes that I am the waker I, that those consequences of the actions done as a dreamer cannot pursue you into the waking state. In the same way as an ego, realizing that these objects will give me happiness, and in order to possess them, I killed and looted and plundered and burned down things around, made the whole world scream all around you in order to fulfill my desires. Of course, the ego will have to suffer the consequence. But the ego in between met a teacher, and by his satsang woke up to the reality. How can the karmas done by the ego be pursued to the Brahman that you have now realized you are? It cannot affect. Therefore, kalpakoti shatairavi arjitam karma. Everything is destroyed the moment you have realized that I am Brahman.
स्वमसङ्गमुदासीनं परिज्ञाय नभो यथा न श्लिष्यति च यत्किञ्चित् कदाचित् भावि कर्मभिः